Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. It was really lovely teaching our outdoor classes over the weekend and last Monday, and we was lucky that with the weather that it stayed nice and dry, and it was just so lovely just seeing and chatting to everyone and practicing as a group again. So I can't wait to see you all if you're coming to the other classes. And we was looking as well at maybe adding an extra class, but we'll do it seeing what the weather's like. So one week, if the weather looks like it might be really nice, then we'll add another evening class. But we'll all email and let you know about that. So for today's class, we're looking at creating space in our backbends. So backbend movements are really good. If you think about, that's what I've said a few people lately, if you think about what you do in just your everyday routine, there's probably not a lot of backbend movements that you actually do. So if you think about it, there's lots of forward fold movements when we're bending over, when we're reaching for something, maybe if we're stretching over for something, but there's not actually this kind of nice backbend movement. So we all need more of that, and we really should be doing at least a few of these, trying to include them every day to keep the back flexible and healthy. If we can do that, then it helps to alleviate maybe any pain or tightness that we're feeling, especially in your lower back. So this is a shorter class. You can practice it on its own, or you can follow it up with the twist one afterwards. That'll go really nice. So we will start off lying down on the floor. So grabbing whatever you need for your practice today and come all the way down, lying down to the floor. If you can today, just to relax the back a bit more, we're going to allow our legs to stay bent. So the legs are going to be bent from here, and you can take your feet maybe hip distance apart, or if you want to, you can always drop your knees in towards each other. Let the arms just rest either down by the sides of the body, or you can rest them on the belly. Let yourself settle into the mat, so closing the eyes or a soft gaze. Shoulders relaxing, and just being aware of the body and paying particular attention to the back today, and just see how the back feels. Notice for you where your back is resting and touching the earth. Notice where there's spaces where that your back is not touching the earth. And just be aware of your breath, and just follow your breath for a few rounds. So beginning to just feel the qualities of being mindful and setting that attention for your practice today. And then once you've followed your breath for a few rounds, and then begin to just slowly breathe in through the nose and slowly breathe out through the nose. Just doing this for a few more rounds, so you're encouraging your breath to gently lengthen out. We're going to just spend a few minutes, and we're going to focus and direct our breath to the different sections of the back, just to bring an awareness into those areas. So as we breathe in, let yourself breathe into the abdomen area, and then into the sides of that body, and then direct that attention into the back part of the body. And then as you breathe out, just softening and releasing, and feeling that lovely release as you breathe out. Do that again. So breathing in through the abdomen, take it into the side body, and then try and direct that last bit of breath into the back of the body, into the lower back, and then just soften and release with the exhale. We'll do one more time. So breathing in, slow breath into the abdomen, sides of the body, direct it into that lower back, and then breathing out, softening and releasing. I'm going to focus now on the midsection of the back. So this time as you breathe in, focus on centre of the chest, where your rib cage is. Breathe in a bit more to the side body, and then breathe in last bit into that midsection of your back. And then breathing out, softening, releasing, letting go. So breathing in all in that one breath to the rib cage, sides of the body, direct it then into that mid-back. And then breathing out, softening and releasing. One more, breathing in to the front of the body, side to the rib cage, in into the back of that midsection of the back, and then softening, releasing, letting go. Last bit now, we're going to direct our attention into the upper back. So as you breathe in, you're going to breathe into the top part of the chest, and then into the side bits underneath the armpits, and then direct some attention into where your shoulder blades are and into that upper back. And then softening, releasing, letting go. Breathing into the top chest, into the sides, into that upper back, and softening, releasing, letting go. Do one more time. Breathing in, top of the chest, sides of the body, then into that upper back, and then softening, releasing, letting go. Just return back to your natural breath and hug your knees in towards the chest, and take a moment to just gently rock from side to side from here. I'm going to take a few moments just to encourage the hips to release before we start our back bends by taking your feet to the floor nice and wide as the mat. Reach the arms T-shape or cactus the arms. Inhale and breathing out, knees to the right. Slowly turn your head to the left if it works. And inhale, slow breath, head and knees come back. Use your exhale to move the knees to the left, head to the right. And then inhale back to the centre. Doing a few more times in your own time, in your own breath. And starting to feel that you're gently warming up the hips. Just start to feel that you're creating some space around your neck. We're also preparing the spine with these gentle twists for our back bends. Just waking up a bit of energy there. And once you've finished off, last one to the left side, come back to the centre and hug the knees in towards the chest again, and take in that slow rock from side to side. I'm going to do a little bit of work into our Dvipadapitham and bridge pose. So our floating one. Take your feet a little bit closer in towards the body. Arms down by the sides of the body. We're going to take a nice breath, and we're going to inhale, start to lift the spine away from the floor. And then as you breathe out, gently release it back down. You're going to use your inhale to allow you to lift up. And use your exhale to slowly release down. Just a few more using your inhale, starting to feel that space in that back arch as you lift up, and that gentle release as you lower down. And just do a couple more from here. Just keeping the arms down as a sense of feeling a bit of support and stabilisation as we lift up. But the next time that you come down to the floor, just canter pose, hug the knees in towards the chest, and taking that gentle rock from side to side. We're going to do one more movement from here, a really nice one that I've been working with the arms to create some space into the back. So we're going to repeat again our bridge pose lifting. We're going to hold it this time. So you're going to inhale, you're going to lift up, lift your spine away. If it's okay for the arms and the shoulders today, take the arms behind you. Nice V shape. Back of the hands on the floor, gently spreading the fingers. So we're going to take an inhale. We're going to leave the arms where they are if it's okay. If it's not, bring them down. As you breathe out, let your pelvis tilt forward and slowly bring your spine back down to the floor. And you'll feel a little bit of an arch in the back as you do this. And then encourage your back to release. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, release your arms down by the sides of the body. We'll do one more in that way. So inhale, lifting up the spine, lifting up the hips. Take a breath, and then as you inhale, we'll lift the arms away from us back into that lovely V shape. You're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. And then taking that inhale, and as you breathe out, leave the arms where they are and slowly release down to the floor. Noticing how the back arches as we come down, and then gently encourage it to soften and release. Inhale, and as you breathe out, arms come down, and we'll counter pose. Let your knees come in, hugging gently from side to side, rocking. And then when you're ready, roll over onto one side or rock backwards and forwards, just so we can bring our way all the way up to seated from here. We're going to just sit in a nice, easy, seated position, either crossing the legs or lengthening out the legs from here. We're going to take a side stretch, and we're just going to do a little bit of nice work into the arms to prepare our arms for some of our back bends. So let's take our right arm out to the side. We'll do a side stretch. So top arm, left arm lifts, inhale, and as you breathe out, take that arm up and over. I'm going to bend into that bottom arm. So from here, you're going to inhale, and as you breathe out, cactus the arm as you draw that arm back from here. Just keep the head in a nice position. So inhale, we'll reach it back over. Breathing out, we'll cactus the arm from here. Do one more on that side. Inhale to take it over. Breathing out, cactus arms. Take that arm over, lifting up. Come all the way up, stretching up with the arms. We'll take your left hand down. You're going to inhale, and as you breathe out, take that arm up and over. Bend your bottom arm. We'll take an inhale, and as we breathe out, cactus the arms as your arm moves back. Use your inhale to send it back over, and your breath out to cactus that arm. Do one more time. Inhale to lengthen. Breathe out, cactus the arm. Do one more to inhale, and then lifting all the way up. Palms together, breathing out. Bring your hands back down from here. We're going to take our hands behind us, so fingers pointing away, and take towards us rather, fingers pointing in. Take some weight back onto the hands and begin to lift your chest. So you're creating this lovely arch in the back, feeling space around the front body, and just simply breathe while you're here. Use the breath to help you feel more freedom in that pose. You can keep your chin tucked in slightly, lifted slightly, or even looking up slightly, whatever your head allows you to do. And then slowly come back from here. Hands on the knees, and just a few circles from here, circling into the hip joints, moving in one direction first of all. And you can bend the arms to get into that movement, so we're really getting into the back from here, and shoulders, and also hip. And then remember what way you went, and then reverse in that other direction. And I find this is wonderful for the lower back, so if you've got any tightness around that lower back area, it starts to help it to just release. And as always, you can make these movements gentle, or you can make them deep, depending on what your back and your body actually needs. Come back to the centre. We'll drop the knees over to one side, and then we'll roll over onto the all fours. Nice spread hands. We're going to do our cat stretches with our breath. Inhale, lifting the tailbone, front of the body looking up. Breathing out, 2 rounds over, draw the navel in. Inhale to come through. Think about creating space. Breathing out as we draw up, just pressing up the vertebrae, the spine towards the sky. One more time. Inhale to lift, and exhale to round over. Come back to the all fours. Going to do one more round of that cat stretches, but you're going to reverse the breath. So the different breaths of the in and exhale, just reverse them. And you might find that it feels a bit different. It might help you to focus more on the spine. So you're going to inhale, and this time you're going to pull up the spine as you round over. And then breathing out as you come through and lift your chest. Breathing in, we're going to draw up. Really think about pressing your back body up towards the sky. And breathing out, feeling that release as we sink down and chest starts to lift. We'll do one more. Inhale to lift up. And then breathing out, rounding over from here. Not rounding over, coming forward, chest forward. And then coming back to the all fours. We're going to tuck our toes under from here. We're going to press up into our downward dog. And take a chance to walk out through the feet if you're feeling particularly tight around the muscles in the back of the legs. And when it feels good, then take some weight back towards the heels. And then think about today. We want to focus more on the back. So bend your legs a little bit more and create some really nice spreading and opening up into your back body from here. And then coming back to the knees, untuck the toes, walk your hands forward and lower down to the floor. We're all going to work into Sphinx pose from here. So widen the arms as wide as your mat and hands forward so they come roughly in line with your cheeks. Head is down. Going to press into the feet, engage the legs and inhale to lift up. You're going to continue to breathe and see where it's appropriate for you to work in the back today. So you might just be keeping it lovely and low and looking down. For some of us, we might be looking slightly forward. For some of us, we might be pressing more into the elbows, drawing your chest through so you work the back a little bit more. Remember to listen to the back, any twinging, you never want that. So just go back to one of the earlier options if you're feeling that. A few more breaths. And then lower down to the floor. Take your hands underneath the shoulders. Press back to the all fours. Tuck the toes under and come back again to the downward dog. After a few moments, if it works, the feet, our heels are releasing back, and then think about bending the legs again so that we can create some really nice space around the muscles around the back of the body. Going to bend the legs, release the feet, hands forward at the shoulders, and then we'll lower down towards the floor. Another round of either your Sphinx pose or Cobra pose. We're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll all press down with the feet. We'll all engage our legs as we inhale to lift up. So try and do baby Cobra first of all for a few breaths. And then you might decide to stay in Sphinx, baby Cobra, or you might be pushing from here. Lengthening the arms, not locking out the arms. And think about your breath. Use your breath to breathe into the space around the chest and feeling that lovely space you're creating around the back body. We'll tuck the chin under, we'll lower down, we'll press back into the all fours. We're going to have a few breaths, press back into child's pose to get a really nice stretch around the back body. Going to pause there for a few moments, maybe walk your hands forward slightly to create more length around your shoulders and around the back space of the body. And then slowly lifting up from here. Going to press back again into the downward dog for a few breaths. And again, if it works, just bend the legs a bit more and think about creating space in your back body. So we're getting all this lovely openness from here. Going to come down to the knees and either step your right foot forward for a lunge or take it into your warrior pose if you're not going to do your knee work today. Pad that back knee if you need to and lifting up from here. Take a few moments just to breathe and then we're going to interlock the hands behind us. Going to gently roll back the shoulders. We're going to think about this lovely opening in the chest and this space and opportunity that you're creating in the back body. Either holding it here, if you know that your back's okay, you haven't got any back issues going on, You can sink a bit lower. You might even lift the chest more. So you work more into a back bend, but only do it if it works for your back. Holding a few breaths. And then slowly releasing, hands either side. We'll come back to the all fours. We'll all take a few breaths back into the downward dog. You're going to bend the legs a bit more so that you get into that back body again, really nice spreading. And then we'll lower down again to the knees. We'll do that lunge again on that left side. So swap it for the warrior and pad your back knee if you need to. We'll press up from here. Take a moment to feel your steadiness in your roots, engage your core. You're going to wrap your hands, interlock them behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Now you can use a belt if your arms, shoulders are particularly tight. We're going to breathe while we're here. So we might be thinking about just staying where we are. If you know it worked on the other side and it was okay, lower, lifting up the chest more. So you work more into a back bend movement. Nice long, slow breaths. And then slowly releasing, hands either side, knees back. Tucking the toes under, coming back into a downward dog. Softening the knees so you can allow your back to spread. And then slowly walking your feet towards the hands. Hands on the hips, lifting up, and we're going to come all the way to standing. We're going to come to the front of the mat, and we'll all work a warrior from here by stepping our right foot back. And our left leg to bend. Adjust your hips or step it in closer if you've got any knee or hip issues going on from here. Take a nice few breaths. You're going to lift up the arms from here. And then breathing out, you're going to slowly cactus the arms. You're going to do a nice movement from here. So as we breathe out now, you can take it in. As you breathe out, you're going to draw the navel in as you bring your hands forward, not quite touching them. And then breathing in, coming into your cactus pose. You can lean back slightly if it works. So breathing out, drawing the navel in, coming forward. And then inhale, opening up. And really feel that nice movement of the back. So breathing out and breathing in. Releasing the hands, stepping that back foot to the front. And we'll work it on the other side. So the back foot is grounded on the floor, left leg is bent, hands are on the hips. I'm going to take a nice breath and we're going to cactus the arms from here. We're going to inhale, and as we breathe out, palms come together as you draw the navel in. Don't bring them completely together. Breathing in as we cactus the arms, and we can turn it more into a back arch. And then breathing out, drawing in with the navel, letting your spine round. So inhale, so you've got two-way movements that the back's doing. Breathing out, draw the navel in, rounding over. Last one, inhale to lift, and then breathing out, releasing the hands. We'll step the back foot into the front. We get a nice release on the spine by taking a roll down, or you can take your hands on the hips. So nice soft knees, tucking the chin in towards the chest, and slowly rolling down bit by bit from here. Getting a really nice release, softening the knees and coming all the way down to the floor. You're going to swing your legs out in front from here, and you're going to reach the arms out. You're going to draw the navel in and slowly, bit by bit, roll down to the floor. You're going to hug your knees in towards the chest. And we're going to take a just final twist to release your back. So you can spread the arms to the side or a T shape. You can keep the legs lifted for a deeper back bend, or if you know that you need to, just take the feet to the floor. You're going to drop your knees to the right side and slowly let your head turn to the left. And while you're here, just focus on long, slow breaths. Feeling all that lovely space that you've created in the spine today by feeling that back arching and feeling that lovely chest movement. You bring the head back, you're going to bring the knees back. We're going to take an inhale, and as you breathe out, we'll drop the knees to the left. Turn your head to the right. Just pause there for a moment. Use your exhale to soften and release. And slowly turn your head back, draw the navel in, bring the knees in, hugging the knees in towards the chest, gentle rock from side to side. And then releasing the legs down to the floor, and either keep them bent or lengthening out your legs from here. And just let the eyes close and take a moment to be aware of maybe how the back feels after that short sequence of back bending movements. So back bends are really good for creating some energy as well. They help us to feel quite joyful and energised by getting that spine really moving. You might have a sense that it might feel very different now to when you first came down to practice the class today. Just pause there for a few breaths, just feeling the support of whatever's underneath you right now, reaching up and supporting the weight of the body, especially of the back. Stay there, breathing, softening and letting go. So as always, if you've got a little bit longer to practice, then just pause the video and just take time to enjoy releasing longer in your Shavasana. But if you're ready, let your legs bend, hug the knees in towards the chest and gently rocking from side to side. And roll over to the right side and gently use your hands to come all the way up to seated. Come to an easy seated position, nice and lifted from here. And take your awareness into the spine and feel that you've woke up the spine today with those movements. You've created energy in the spine. And thinking about how you might be able to include a few of these back bend movements every day into your practice. It hasn't got to be a long session. If you can do a few back bends every day, then it's really going to benefit your body and how your rest of your body works as well. Everything's connected, the hips, the legs, and if we keep the back nice and healthy, then it's going to have a real good benefit. Now you practice still by bringing your hands together, hands in towards your heart centre. Slowly lower your head down towards the hands and softly allow your eyes to blink open. Very calmly, very peacefully, lifting your head, lifting your heart. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed just creating space and freedom in the back and the spine. See you soon.